It is Supernanny Saturday, and this week we are watching the Simmons family. So let's grab our beverages and dive in.
Sophia definitely seems like a teenager already.
I don't know. I did it.
Keep the door open.
Peyton is defiant. Sydney is volatile.
Now.
Go.
Now.
Parker, he likes to get his way.
Put on the shirt.
You're not gonna get it. No.
Woo, we have two sets of twins, not one, but two. We have a set of 7-year-olds and a set of 4-year-olds. Now, there are positives to having kids close in age because they're kind of on the same developmental track. They can play a lot of the same board games together. You can do a lot of activities that are going to engage the entire family, as opposed to if you have a large age gap, you might go to a playground and the older kid is going to be bored while the younger kid is engaged, or they're not able to do the things that the older ones are going to do. So there are some positives, but the biggest downside is that when you're going through certain stages, think of picky eating and tantrums, a lot of them are going through it at the same time, so it could be quite exhausting.
When it comes to discipline, I have like this attempt out, and then I just give up. Stop slamming the door. Stop. Don't stop. No.
My word. Look, every time they draw a line in the sand, the kids just wipe it out.
Parker, please, seriously. Parker. Parker. Why don't you guys make your beds? How about that?
No.
Yes.
I'm starting to get a clear picture of what we're dealing with here. We have two very loving but permissive parents. That means that they have very low demands of their children, but a high responsiveness. We want that responsiveness. If you grew up in a family where you were yelled at, you were told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, you were never asked what your opinion was, you didn't get an opportunity to grow into your independence, you know how suffocating that could be, how controlling that could be. So when you become a parent, you're like, I just want my kid to like enjoy their life and have some breathing room. But unfortunately, it could just swing all the way into permissive parenting from that authoritarian, and you skip over authoritative, where we have both responsiveness and demands. Now, let's be careful that those demands are developmentally appropriate. We're not asking a 2-year-old to clean the entire house. That would not be developmentally appropriate. But cleaning their own room, come on, Dad. Come on, Mom. Who's in charge here?
I guess I wish I could just figure out how to juggle everything. Being a mom and not feeling like I can do my job.
No!
Yep.
No!
And how do I manage all 4 of them? And cooking and cleaning and doing everything else at the same time.
Stop!
Put your pajamas on.
Supernanny, come on, it's 2 against 4. We need your help.
I know you got your hands full with double trouble, so I'm on my way.
Thank goodness Joe Frost is on her way, because I would tell these parents, I give you permission to be the leaders in your home. A calm confidence. You don't have to control them. You don't have to beg them. You guide them with developmentally appropriate expectations and responsiveness.
After I met the family, Dad went off to work, and whilst Mum was trying to serve lunch, the 2 sets of twins were going wild.
Sydney, get off the table. Oh, stop it now. That is enough. Parker, stop. Stop.
This is one of the hardest obstacles to overcome as both a parent and a teacher trying to accomplish a task without being interrupted. You know what it's like to get that phone call, and as soon as you're on the dang phone, all of a sudden everybody has a problem. Everybody has a question. Everybody's fighting. And you're like, can I not just take a phone call for 5 minutes? And the reason why this is the hardest obstacle is because you are setting up expectations and following through with those expectations while you are not present. This is high level stuff. So how do we do it? Well, think about a classroom. I always come back to that because I am an educator. And if you're new here, I'm Kristen. I'm an educator and mom of 2 myself. I specialize in working with children who have behavioral challenges. During the first few weeks of school, children learn how to do things. And one of the things that they will learn to do is how to rotate through centers proficiently while the teacher can pull a group and work quietly. During those first few weeks, the teacher will not be pulling groups. They will just be teaching and practicing the expectations during center rotations. What do I do when I have a question? What do I do when I need this supply? What do I do when my table mate is poking me or prodding me? And they're teaching the children how to handle these situations so that when they do pull the children aside in small groups, they're not interrupted. So what this mom could do really quick, because I know you want to see the next clip, and I always feel like I'm jibber jabbering. Let me know if I talk too much or if you want me to talk more, is what this mom could do is she could practice what we do when I make lunch. Maybe she has them color at the table. She has to practice with them. What do I do when I need a crayon from my brother or sister? What are the expectations on sharing? Do they have to give it right away? Like, can I have the blue? Well, maybe you teach them, I'm using the blue right now. When I'm done with it, I'll pass it to you. Maybe to make things easier, they all have their own packs of crayons because they're not ready to be sharing yet. Think about what your expectations are. Practice it with them, and then slowly start removing yourself. Eventually, you're in the kitchen and you're able to make lunch without interruptions.
So then when Dad tried to do it, I saw that he couldn't do it either. And they look at him and laugh.
Sydney, don't do it again.
And then ignore him and carry on doing what they were doing in the first place.
Come on, Sydney, please.
I mean, it really is this whining tone.
Sydney.
Kind of like a broken record, really.
Can you stay down off of that?
No.
Please, please, please.
This is actually a simple one. I would look at the child and go, that's one. We don't climb here. If you feel like climbing, you can climb over here. Provide an alternative to meet their needs because kids have needs. They feel like climbing. Show them how to stack the bean bags that are on the floor and then they could jump off. That might be enough and then you're done. But let's say it's not enough and they climb again. You go, that's 2. We do not climb on this. If you continue to climb on this, then blank. That blank is a consequence, hopefully a logical consequence that's connected to the behavior. And in this case, I'd probably go with timeout, and here's why. The kids are in the room. She's not the only one in the room. Therefore, when she climbs on that structure, not only is she a danger to herself, but she's a danger to all the other kids in the room. Somebody could get hurt and smushed underneath that structure. It's not meant to be climbed on. So it's my job to keep you and everyone else safe. Then they climb on it again. That's 3. And then you just do the consequence. If you want to hear more about that in more thorough detail, check out the book 1, 2, 3 Magic.
Dad finally decided to do some discipline, but his idea of a timeout was pleading.
Now don't kick. Don't even start that. Please. Please. Do you want to go in the closet? Okay. Sit right there, and I'll let you know when you can come out.
Okay, so he did do timeout, but I think we would all agree it wasn't the most effective timeout, and here's why. Way too much talking. I even skip a step that Joe Frost does. You know how she has the child go in timeout and then she explains to them why they're in timeout? I don't think it's necessary. The kid knows exactly why they're in timeout. And if they don't know why they're in timeout, they're probably too young to be in timeout. That's just my opinion. So when they're done with their timeout, that's when they're calmer, they're out of their brainstem, everybody's back online, we can think logically now. That's when you're like, hey, do we need to go over the rules of the playroom? Because what you were doing wasn't safe. I know it's fun. It's fun to climb on things. And if you want to do more climbing things, we can figure that out. We can work on that. But what you were doing was not a solution to that problem. Communicate with me your needs. What is it that you need so I can help you? My job is to keep you and this family safe. And what you were doing was not safe. So do we need to go back in there and practice it, or do you think you're good? And most of the time, your child's going to be like, I'm good, because they know and they're just pushing the limits.
I just at that moment thought, well, where's Mum in all this chaos? I just kind of peeked into the bathroom area and Mum was hiding.
I'm hiding.
You're hiding? To have what? Your breakfast?
Just a snack. I usually hide from the kids when I eat, just so I can have a little peace and quiet.
Okay, then, Parker. No one's going to share their toys with you if that's how you want to act.
Both parents seem to be scared of their own children, scared to upset them. The way that Mom hides and eats her food. She should be able to eat her food wherever she desires. It is her house. I have taught, coming back to the teaching, I have taught my children to not interrupt me while I'm eating. I deserve to eat in peace too. You can come to me if there's an emergency, of course, always. But you're not going to ask me for a snack while I'm in the middle of eating my food. You're not going to have a problem while I'm in the middle of eating my food unless everybody's going to separate so that I can eat in peace too. We're teaching our children how to treat others. And it's not, the world doesn't revolve around you. And then the same thing with Dad, constantly asking permission, begging his children. I just had a little lunch break and I was watching this channel, Psychology in Seattle. This is Dr. Kirkonda. He is a psychologist. And when he first started his channel, he was reviewing all things psychology, like educational content. And over time, he started mixing in reality TV. Love is Blind, 90 Day Fiance, This is Sister Wives, and he would marry the two, education and entertainment. He is the inspiration of why I started using Supernanny as a jumping off point to discuss discipline techniques. And just so you know, I am using, if you don't already know, all of the money that I make on this YouTube channel. Every time you watch an advertisement, I get a portion of that money. It's not the biggest portion, but it is something. It adds up and I appreciate it. I'm going to use that money to go back to school. I already have my CDA and I already have my bachelor's in elementary education. I'm certified in middle, but I love all things psychology. So I'm going to go to graduate school for maybe educational psychology or neuroscience, something. So I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you. Thank you for supporting Mommy Breakdown, hanging out with me each week, and let's get back to Supernanny.
What kind of foods do the kids like to eat? What kind of things do you prepare for them?
They like the dino chicken, mini corn dogs, macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, they're not really too fussed on fruit and veg and stuff.
No.
When Mum served dinner,
What kid
I saw
is?
she wasn't exaggerating. These kids sat down at the table and they weren't even eating what they should have been. Where's the healthy food plan?
We've moved on to picky eating, and most people know that this is just a stage that everyone will go through. I mean, are there kids who wake up and have avocado toast in the morning and then a kale salad with some grilled chicken for lunch? I guess it exists, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Most people are going to go through this stage because our society has highly palatable food, ultra processed, just the right amount of sweet, just the right amount of salt, just the right amount of crunch. If I could wake up every morning and have a donut, I would. But my frontal lobe is fully developed, so I know if I have that donut every day in the morning, that's not going to lead to a long-term outcome that I want. And even so with that, some adults struggle. So imagine how hard that is for a child who they can't even do that. They don't even have that development yet. So what do? Our kids are going to be exposed to these foods at a birthday party, at a friend's house, even at your own home. And they have those dino chicken nuggets. What do? We say, wow, yeah, it is delicious. You know, the manufacturers make it just like that. You see how it's crispy and it's golden on the outside, just the perfect amount of crunch. And then the chicken, and then like Have them look at the chicken on the inside. You see how the chicken like kind of looks a little different? And then my chicken that I'm eating, you see, because they mush it up and teach them and talk to them about how each of the foods, they help different parts of our body. You know, fish gives us omega-3s and it's good for our brain, makes you so smart. And protein is really good for your muscles so you could be strong, and your bones and your skin and your eyes and your ears and your all the things, right? Knowledge is power. And then when they have trouble, you go, I get it. It's hard. It's hard for me too. I wish I could eat all those things, but I know that I need to take care of my body, and it's my job to help you take care of your body until you're able to do it yourself. So these are your choices, this or this. And I'm going to skip the next segment just because I'm running out of time. Joe Frost actually goes to the grocery store with the family, the farmer's market. The kids get to taste all kinds of foods, getting them involved in it. They spin a little wheel of what we're going to eat for dinner, and they do much better. The more kids get involved, the more likely they are to eat it. So that's a good suggestion as well. If you want to see the full episode, I link it in the description below.
Oh, thank you. Joe, thank you so much for coming into our home and putting our family back together. I feel very confident and very empowered.
All right, keep up your work. And yourself with that voice, okay?
We've come so far. Just to sit back and think about all of the improvements we've made, it's unbelievable.
Bye. Bye, take care.
Bye, Joe.
Bye-bye. Mum and Dad have worked really hard, and as a result of that, all 4 kids have been very receptive to change, which is absolutely fantastic.
Another happy ending. Let's see where the Simmons family is now. This filmed in 2009. This was season 6 in Richmond, Virginia. We have the ages now of how old everyone is. Mom is now 57. Dad is 54, Peyton is 23, and Sophia is 23, and then the other twins, Parker and Sydney, are 20 now, so everyone's an adult. And recording errors, what does that mean? Throughout the episode, especially during the original airing, multiple scenes are either cut or outright removed entirely due to camera errors. We already know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, post-episode, both pairs of twins moved to Oklahoma. So that's the only update we have on the wiki. Let's see. Oh, Sydney has a YouTube channel. Let's see if there's any information on Sydney's YouTube channel. I don't see any videos. Just, okay. But we can see Sydney in the picture. That's one picture. Let's see what else we have. Sydney's Instagram. Looks like Sydney is the most involved with social media. I can't imagine what it's like to be on TV and then grow up, like be on TV as a child and then grow up. Well, I don't know. We have, okay, public. Here's Sydney. Oh, I like her hair. That's pretty. Very cute, very nice. A runner, looks like. It looks like a run of some sort. She's got the number on, so she's a runner. Birthday. This is when she turned 19. I wonder, is this her family? Is this everybody? This looks like everybody, right? Oh, let's see them. Is this the family? This looks like the family. Look at how nice, guys. This is great. So we have the boys and the girls and mom and dad. Is that, that's got to be them, right? Oh, how nice. Oh, I love, it's been a while since we had like a nice family photo update. Yay! A wedding that they're out at? Whose wedding? We don't know. Maybe a family member's. And then, oh, that's that. Okay. And then the last one is Sophia's Instagram. Let's see if there's anything. My eyes are tearing for some reason. I don't know what happened. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I'm not crying. My eyes are tearing. Okay, Sophie. I don't know why it said that. What did it say? It said, for some reason, her Instagram name is Sophie. Maybe she doesn't want people to find her. And here we are searching for her. I'm sorry. It's private. But we did see a picture of her before. I think Sydney, if you want to look at the family and see what's going on now, I would suggest going to Sydney's Instagram. So you could see let me see if I can, I don't know. Wait, hold on. There we go. So you can see and look on it on your own. And that is the update on the Simmons family. I will see you next time. I hope you have a great week. Bye.